I feel like Playboi Carti is confusing a lot of people right now, but I low-key think it's a part of his marketing tactics because if you're looking at, let's say, this imaginary album rollout for this new music album that he has coming out, it started back on the 24th of December in 2022, carried on a bit into that week, but so far since then, it's been fucking radio silence for a lot of Carti fans, and it has a lot of people confused. Is it an album? Is it new music? Is it even music at all? What's going to be happening with this?
Is it another merch line like Narcissist was?
What's happening with this Playboi Carti
Yeah,
world? And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today, guys, is where is Playboi Carti and when will this new album drop? Because we do have official sources. His producers have spoken about the album. His manager spoke about the album.
Academics have spoken about the album.
There's so many different things going on in the community.
But how did you feel when you first saw him post what seemed to be an album cover for the new album on December 24th? Then he goes on Twitter. He ends up tweeting, love all my supporters. It's time. Like, I feel like everybody thought it was going to be a Whole Lotta Red Part 2 situation where he gives us the ultimate Christmas gift of new music. So were you disappointed when nothing came? Like, how did
I kind
you
of
feel?
expected it. I mean, like, we were covering it pretty heavy on the Twitter, and like Fajed tweeted out that thing of the wolf meme, like, not again, Cardi, you know? Just everyone was in kind of a shock because we really did feel like it was coming that night, and we were prepared to record on fucking Christmas, right? Because you have to go into the studio, you got to get that album review out, but it doesn't end up coming. And that's quite interesting just because I feel like he's really playing this smart in the way that he's calculating the rollout because he knows everyone's expecting the album on Christmas. He's going to follow suit, let's say, with the Whole Lotta Red rollout. He did it before. History repeats itself. You might see it again. But no, what I think he did is that he wanted to start at a time where everyone would be kind of maybe expecting it. But let's go through what Academic said, okay? Because he had a big part to play in the Whole Lotta Red movement. He was the one that gave us kind of an official date for the album.
He did. I mean, on December 10th, he went on IG and he's like, listen, the album's not dropping tonight because some people thought it was going to drop on December 10th. He's like, it's coming out on Christmas, guys. And nobody really was sure to believe him or not, but he ended up being the official source because it did drop on Christmas, and he was even featured. Like, his announcement of the album on his stream was fucking featured on the album on the song Control. So I feel like going into this new Cardi era, once again, you know that Academics is still within that inner circle, so why not trust him as the official source? And listen, at the end of the day, Cardi's been silent for the last 3 weeks, so if there's someone to kind of pay attention to, it is Academics, and he went on stream and he said that it is 100% dropping in the first quarter of 2023, and he said, to be exact, from January to March, anytime between those months, and he put emphasis saying that if you had to ask me, I'm almost positive that it will be coming out in either January or February, and it's super interesting just because that's super soon. So do you think that it's actually going to happen? Do you think it's going to drop within those months?
I don't want to say yes, I don't want to say no, because at a point, like, you kind of have to play the guessing game with the album dates, right? Like, does it go this week? Does it go that week? Does he wait the month? Does he delay the album because of music components? Like, what ends up happening?
And Cardi's like Kanye in that sense where it's like, even if he'll like hype something up or even fucking give you a time frame, who knows if that's going to be fucking accurate,
exactly,
right?
And it always leaves the fans wondering, when is it going to drop? So I want to say yes. I want to be optimistic. I want to say yes, it's coming in the first quarter, but I'm being honest with you, bro. I have no fucking idea.
What's your prediction, though?
My prediction is, it comes out maybe at the end of January, beginning of February. That's what I want to say.
I'm going to go with February 24th. I'm going to say end of February, and I also think that he's performing Rolling Loud, California, I believe the first week of March. So I think that maybe he'll want to have, because he already did the whole festival circuit with Whole Lotta Red.
He did.
So I feel like for him to start off a new festival circuit, it would be perfect to have his new album, which might be called Music, to have be being played at that festival. So we'll have to see if that happens, but it is super interesting to see just because we know that Uzi's The Pink Tape might be released around the same time. So, like, how does that affect the rollout? I don't
think
know.
It affects anything. Like, the thing is that Playboi Carti's gonna have his moment. Uzi's gonna have his moment.
What if they drop like within a week of each other?
That's
I feel like
cool. I feel like the whole community would really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Especially that those two fan bases do collide. They do have similar music interests, and they've been both following those careers now for around 7 years. But I find this interesting just because there's a mystique around this rollout. He did the perfect setup, bro, for what's to come with this next album date. So do you ever see a world where he doesn't drop it in 2023 and takes another year off from music?
There's no way. He's gonna have to drop it this year because it's gonna be, almost 3 years if he chooses not to drop it in 2023. And I feel like Cardi's fans are hungrier than ever. He did a great job of showcasing the Opium artists with Destroy Lonely and Ken Carson. I feel like their come up was super organic, and I feel like he kind of made them release projects, or maybe they released it on their own, but I feel like that just reminded people that Cardi's sound is so in demand. And to me, their music wasn't great enough to kind of hold me over, so I've kind of been hungry for Cardi to return himself. So we'll have to see, what that ends up being like, and if they have, placements on the album or not. But I think what's also super interesting is that Academics also went on to say that he feels like this could match the hype of Whole Lotta Red, which is kind of a big question.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah, bro,
will,
because I feel like the internet reactions of Whole Lotta Red low-key carried that rollout more than the music itself to some degree.
It was a massive
because
thing.
everyone was divided, bro. And I feel like going into this rollout now, what's cool is that Academics is saying that this is going to shift the game once again, and it's going to sound completely different from Whole Lotta Red, and that he's going to set a new standard. And I believe it because Cardi's a leader, bro. He doesn't follow the trends. So how do you feel about Cardi tackling a new sound again? Like, what do you think that's going to be like?
I think it's the smartest direction for him to go into, bro. Even looking at, let's say, the legends that have come before Cardi that have set themselves up for the future. Someone like Kanye, perfect example. Someone that's very sporadic with his sound, always changing, new eras, new moments in time. That's how you keep a cult fan base engaged into your music. He sold over 100,000 copies first week with Whole Lotta Red. That's a massive jump for him, bro. That's huge. So I could just imagine what this next album will do. Plus, I feel like the music itself is kind of doing marketing for itself, because if you look at where the sound has been going for the past 2 years since when Whole Lotta Red dropped, it's really gone in Cardi's favor. So now it's kind of like, okay, maybe he doesn't make the complete 180, but he completely transforms the way he's tackling that sound, or maybe he brings in a completely different soundscape for him to attack. That's what I'm asking myself, is like, where's he going with that?
Because he could also like fully commit to the whole rage and punk aesthetic, because it wasn't the entire focus of Whole Lotta Red, so he can really dial in on that maybe, because we are seeing that sound is kind of still living on. Like fucking NBA Youngboy just dropped an album, and the first half of that track list on I Rest My Case had the filthy type production where it was super rage infused, and you had a lot of video game-esque synths and that, that heavy bass that Cardi's beats often have. So it'll be cool to see if he does kind of keep that in motion, because we do know that Filthy, who produced songs such as Rockstar Made or Stop Breathing, who provided the sound to that aesthetic, is going to be back working with Cardi for this album. And he actually tweeted saying, "Best album ever." He also tweeted, "Never moving backwards, and nobody coming like us right now. I promise we changed the sound again."
Wow.
But the thing is that, like, when I hear a Filthy beat, even looking at something like Jumbotron shit poppin', excuse me, I feel like I automatically know that it's a Filthy beat. Like, I feel like, not that he's in a box, but I feel like he has a very distinct sound. So to see him kind of get out of his element would be a bit of a surprise.
It would be a bit of a surprise. Yeah, or maybe it's like, it's not only Filthy taking care of the soundscape.
It won't be.
Yeah, you're probably going to see Art Dealer on there. I want to see Pierre Bourne have a bigger influence on the album as well. I feel like Cardi's chemistry with Pierre Bourne is absolutely unmatched, but then kind of goes against what their whole branding is for this next album, especially with the tweet saying that we're moving forward, we're never stepping backwards. Cardi's done that Pierre Bourne aesthetic before for 2 studio albums, one studio album and a mixtape. So how does he forward through it? How does he really break the mold again? What does he bring as far as his cadence and sounds go? Because even looking at the transition from something like a Die Lit all the way to Whole Lotta Red, it was a complete 180, except for maybe songs like Sky, Over, Place, where he was kind of still playing within that realm, but you got completely different vocal inflections, completely different vocal effects, completely different flows and melodies, completely different ad-libs. He literally changed his whole style on this again. But it raises the question, okay, Cardi's literally at the peak of his career right now for interest, but like people are really fucking with him, and I feel like he could bring it to a whole different level. We know Playboi Carti can. So Whole Lotta Red was successful in doing that. How do you think he replicates that again with this new album?
Well, listen, first of all, I mean, I'm a huge Cardi fan. Even though I wasn't a big fan of Whole Lotta Red, I just love the fact that he's always going against the grain, and I feel like he's going to do that again. And who knows, maybe it'll be more rock infused this time. Maybe he'll go more towards the side of trap metal. But I feel like when it does come to making mood music, when it comes to making music, let's say, that's kind of style over substance, he's the best at it in the fucking game right now. And there's so many people replicating that sound. So I feel like he wants to be that trendsetter once again and introduce another sound completely different. And we also had Playboi Carti's mixing engineer Fritz, who said something super interesting. He said, "Cardi, Lil Wayne, And then he tweeted right after, nah, for real, Lil Wayne been inspiring my brother so much during these past couple of years since his last project you wouldn't even understand. And I'm trying to think, I'm like, where does Cardi and Wayne's worlds kind of meet? Obviously, this could point to the fact they might have a collaboration on the way, which is super fucking exciting. But at the same time, don't forget, Wayne did give us a rock album with Rebirth. So do you feel like maybe Cardi's taking inspiration from that? Because that wasn't that great of an album.
Yeah, I know, but have I seen good rock rap albums? There are very few. You
Yeah.
can say that, but I don't see Cardi going there.
You don't see it? Okay.
I don't see it, but maybe it happens because I don't see it. That's the whole problem with Playboi Carti, is that you never really know what he's gonna do, and I think that unpredictability factor has to be present within the sound. So who knows? Maybe everyone knows him as the non-lyrical guy that's making moon music, and he ends up having great writing on this album. Who knows what happens, right? Just because he wants to stay unpredictable, he wants to have something that's gonna feel refreshing and new. But man, this Playboi Carti experience has been quite a ride, just because no one's gotten it right yet. Everyone's been tweeting, everyone's been talking about it, but the only one that seems to be silent is Playboi Carti at the moment. So guys, let us know how you feel about this album rollout in the comment section. Let us know, do you even think it's happening? Just because you never know with Playboi Carti, and we're gonna be keeping you updated with everything Playboi Carti throughout this entire rollout for 2023. So guys, hit the subscribe button if you have not already. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and we'll catch you in the next one.